The next step section is a super powerful way to enable your buyers to engage with you inside page. The reason you want to have this is a lot of times if your buyer is kind of interested or they have some objection, they're not always going to reply back to you over email. Sometimes they might just be lazy and not feel like it. And so this will make it super easy for you to guide them to next steps. And there's a few ways you can configure this. Let's first go through each button and then I'll tell you a little bit more about how you can use it for different use cases. So when you click add button, you have a few options. The first option is reply. Think of this like a one button reply for your prospect to engage with you. So for example, maybe I'm prospecting and I want to have a button that says not interested right now. So my prospect can see this if it's not a good fit and easily reply to me. Then I just type that in, keep this as a reply option. I could change my confirmation message and click save button. And so now if I go ahead and preview this, then when my prospect clicks on that, that's it. That feedback will then show up in my activity feed and I will get an email with that reply as well. So it's a great way for prospects to easily reply to you. Let's go through the next option, which is open a page. This one's super exciting. Maybe you are prospecting or you're doing a call recap, and one common question people ask is, how are you different than somebody else? Or there's some more information that you want to share in your page, but you don't want to overwhelm them with all of the content right here inside your page. Then what you could do is make a whole page that talks about that and then just link to it from here. So for example, I could say something like us versus, you just type in a competitor's name. And I will select that page. So let's just say it's this one as an example. And so now if I go ahead and preview this and my recipient clicks on this, they will then be taken to that page. And the beauty of this is now they're kind of going on their own journey to figure out the stuff that's going to be relevant to them. But on the back end, you will be able to track, hey, they spent 10 seconds looking at my first page and then 3 minutes looking at that next page. And you can create this whole amazing customer journey from here. The third option is open external link. This is the most obvious one where there's some resource you want to share with your customer, but you didn't feel like putting it in your page, then you can put it here. So one common example of this is, like check out our website. And so let me just grab the page on our website and I'd paste my company website link into there and that's it. And so when my recipient clicks on this link, they'll then be taken to our website. And the final option is to request input. This is kind of like a form. So for example, maybe you have a button that says, ask me a question. And request input is like, what's your question? And placeholder might be, something about pricing, FAQ, etc. And save button. And so now if we preview this, then when my recipient clicks on that button, it'll say, what's your question? And I'll say, how much does this cost? And send message, and that's it. Again, that response will now show up in your activity feed, as well as that they clicked ask a question. So sometimes they might click it, but not submit a question. You'll know all that stuff in your activity feed, and that will appear in your email as well. So how can you use this for different parts of the sales cycle? Well, there's a few ways. For example, if you're prospecting, I'd say keep the top button as the primary call to action and make it very positive. So something like book a meeting with me or check out our website or sign up for a free trial. And then below that, it sounds pretty controversial, but I would also give them the opportunity to opt out. Again, it's better for your prospect to say no to you than to just ghost you entirely. And the more feedback you get from them, the more just data you could get on how to craft your pitch better or even follow up with them in the future. So maybe your second button might be something negative like not interested right now or talk to me later. And then maybe for the talk to me later option, you have a button that requests input and they could say when it would be a good time for you to reach out to them. For post-demo recap, probably just use this as a way for people to say something like, send me the call recording, or maybe you want to link out to other resources here where you don't want to take up real estate here. So for example, link out to your case studies or link out to some webinars or something like that. You could put that in there. And then mutual action plan. That too, you can have something like, ask me a question. So if at any point any stakeholder in that deal is stuck, then they could just say, ask me a question, type in the question, send it to you, and you're good to go. So that's a high-level overview of how you can use the next step section. And by the way, you can personalize this as well. What does that mean? Well, you know how you can use bracket name here in the page in order to personalize your page? Well, you can also do that here. So for example, we can have our button title say, ask me a question, bracket name. And from a confirmation message, I might say, thanks for your reply, bracket name. And we'll say button here. And so now if we preview that, let me just create a link for, let's say Elon at tesla.com so you get an idea here. And open this up. And so this will say, next steps, ask me a question, Elon. And, it's like, how much does this cost? Send message. And it'll say, thanks for your message. Message sent, thanks for your reply, Elon. And then if I go back to my activity feed here, you'll be able to see that Elon viewed the page. Elon said, I clicked on the button that said, ask me a question. And he said, how much does this cost? Alrighty.